Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Twitch Rivals, the show about streamers we love and the games they play. Today, for the first time, we're going to be playing some Rogue Company, starting things off here in Europe. We'll have North America a little bit later on. I'm your host, Wavepunk, but I don't actually know a ton about this game, so I hired the two people that literally knew the most about this game I could find, and then they backed out on me, so I had to bring in Brent Sideshow instead.
I'm excited. I'm looking forward to this. I've watched, a bunch of Rogue Company and played some myself, but actually seeing it getting played more and more competitively, it seems like it's a really fun game.
The game is a blast. I mean, I played it for the first time yesterday, and I was like, I'm honestly disappointed in myself that I didn't start playing it earlier. It was so much fun. And I had to stop playing because I had to go to bed. So we had to wake up to do this show. But, this is just win-wins all the way around. I'm excited to be here, chat.
I probably want to highlight our number one team here, Nikolan, Team Nikolan. Because I was actually tuning into his broadcast, watching his stream a couple of days ago, and they were kind of chatting to each other, asking who the other competitors were and who else had been invited to Twitch Rivals, and they were saying, watch out for Team Skyle, but basically we've got it in the bag. They were feeling pretty confident, so I want to see if they live up to the hype with Lord Slopodopoulos.
Lord Slopodopoulos in the flesh. May he reign forever. I can't wait to watch that guy compete. Oh boy, we get the full cinematic sitcom walkout. Nikolan is Lancer. Org Exo is Trench. Funk as Dahlia and Org Slop. What are these names? Okay, your teammates aren't Org Shop and Org Slop.
This immediately tells you, that Nikolan's team aren't messing around, because look at their composition that they're rolling out with here.
Extremely meta.
It's so meta, it hurts. So Dahlia is almost like a range support character. There's one other that's like it, which is Saint. So that allows you to revive people, essentially, when they're downed from range. And that's usually used alongside Fixer, because he can. One of his abilities is he can see through smokes. So the serious teams, you're pretty much always going to see those two characters alongside a mix of other ones.
Yeah, especially with the Trench as well, which is one of the other ones that they've got on the team. Who's playing that at the moment? It looks like that's going to be Exotics, I think, up in the top right-hand corner. And that gives the Dahlia a bunch more utility to be able to work with as well.
Yeah, you get the passive from Trench, usually the Dahlia. One of her abilities is, just to explain a little bit further as well, she can link with one teammate, and she can then revive that teammate as long as she's within 30 meters. But she also gains the passive ability of whoever she links with. So
yeah, so there's a lot of kind of strategies up at the top level about, making sure that you link with the right people to be able to revive them and to actually get the most value out of stuff as well. You can see here that Team Nikolan know exactly what they're doing. Immediately take control of the extremity around the left-hand side. They get the bomb down, and now they're just playing through the smoke. This is what makes Fixer incredible, and I'm surprised that Team Highstyle aren't going for it, because the ability to fire through a smoke and see people through smoke is just bonkers good.
Yeah. Slopodopoulos, mate. I mean, he's just beaming with the pistol.
You can see where the defenders are allocating themselves, and now they're pushing them all the way deep to spawn as well. This Fixer sniper that is being used here, if you manage to get a headshot, it's immediately the player is downed onto the floor. And it's a two-shot to the body as well. Incredibly powerful.
This is, I mean, he's just beaming, bro. They're actually having fun with it. It's you can immediately tell, though, just from the compositions, the teams that have done their research. I mean, Nikolan's team consists of, I think, pretty much Nikolan, who's like an Apex streamer content creator normally, like Apex Legends, but the rest of his team is Rogue Company players, essentially.
I do agree with the developer in the interview that we saw that it's a great entry point for people to get into a more, tactical shooter, because it's an easier entry. It's not as hardcore. It's not as, I think he said, like hard-boiled pixel hunting kind of game where every tiny movement that you make matters. But it's a little more forgiving, but at the same time, it has a lot of strategy in terms of how you use all of the different rogues' utility in the round.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, it is. You can just see from the way that they're playing that they are sweating that much more. The comms are clean. The utility to push them out of angles. They're literally pushing into their spawns. Like every single time they've got an immediate understanding of how to take every single site that they want to push onto. And this is probably going to be the case with teams like Nikolan's team and also Sky's team, who we might be catching out a little bit later on. They should be playing right now. all the games are played simultaneously, so might be able to hop over to some of the other matches pretty soon.
And so there is a bit of an economical aspect, but it's different to a lot of the other tag shooters in that you don't lose your gear at the end of the round if you die. You manage to retain most of it. If you pick up other people's guns, you don't retain those, but generally speaking, everything that you have bought, you keep. That is a lovely flank as well. Getting value out of the Lancer, which is the flanker. It's one of the only characters where people use SMGs, run around, try and get really aggressive positions and catch people out.
Yeah, she's kind of a crazy character, actually. A lot of this game at the highest level revolves around the timings of things, like understanding how fast it takes a character to get to a certain point in the map when everybody spawns in. And she's just one of those characters that you don't really think about it on paper, but movement speed, increasing your movement speed, kind of just throws all the equations out the window at the highest level. She can get to places a lot faster than other people. She can get to flanks and areas of the map before anyone else can really expect it. So there's a lot of strategy in terms of if you're picking that rogue, when you want to be using that ability as well.
Yeah. And she's good in 1v1s as well because her SMG is really powerful.
Against these players as well that know how to play the game, and they're going to get pushed here by the Dima, but I mean, the whole team's here, yeah. And it's the power of covering a third-person shooter like this. You have the ability to just peek and engage when you want to when you're behind cover. The enemy can't see when you're going to be peeking. You know exactly when they're going to be running out in the open, which is why you see like the importance of utility, of smoke grenades, of normal grenades to flush people out of those angles. And if you're not like comfortable using the utility in this game, which maybe you're a little bit new to it, you can see the difference that's happening here with Nikolan's team, where they have a complete understanding of how to play the map, a complete understanding of how to use their utility, and they are just absolutely rolling. I mean, it's 5-0 currently. These rounds have been lightning fast. I mean, by the time this is finished, I mean, I don't know, we'll probably have time to move over to a game that's already begun, and it'll be in like the midway portion.
Yeah, this is really, really one of the fastest games that I've seen, to be honest. It's not particularly bad from Team Highstart. It's just that Nikolan's team knows exactly what they want to do, and they're showcasing the level of difference that you see. Oh, throwing the melee weapon as well.
And then the Fixer's going to use his ability here so he can see through the smokes. The Fixer's
by the way, Brent,
ability.
Drew accidentally downed one of his teammates by using his Dima ultimate too. Oh, not even the ultimate. The abilities. Yeah, the grenade launcher managed to knock one of his teammates down mid. And now it's just the Dallas left. This is the last round of the half as well, and put this poor Dallas that's just left alive. He can use his ability to try and find out where they are, but I mean, good luck in the 1v4.
Yeah. It's brutal. You can see the power of like a coordinated team. They lay down all the smokes, and this guy right here, the Fixer that we're witnessing, that Slopodopoulos is playing. I mean, they're just toying with their food, aren't they? The Fixer special ability is like an infrared sight, so we can see through smokes, which is incredibly important. Like the utility, the smokes they use to try and push up and take map control away, and the Fixer's the only one that can kind of counteract that. Yeah, you can see Dallas's ability here. He latches onto one person on the enemy team, and he gets essentially wall hacks on them for a period of time, but he can only use it once. Well, he's getting some decent damage off, but that's Shaq right there. One of Shaq's abilities is just a complete overheal that he gets, so he's immediately up to full HP. Even though he's taking all that damage, he's being pushed here. He's going to try and thirst him, gets the kill onto the revive, being pushed down now. Dima has to try and hit his shots here. Drew needs to try and get this, but the rolls is dodging and juking. Please! You got to try and take him out, but he's in the end. Oh, that is a brutal finish to the 7-0. You can see he's not happy. He's rubbing that freshly shaved trim. I like your cut G, but not enough to win the game.
GG. Oh man,
that was quite blazingly quick there, Wavepump.
Yeah.
We've gotten the fastest match out of the way early. Yeah, man. So we do see here early, Bren, our tournament favorites performing as we expected.
It's going how we expected, I think. And now we're going to get deeper into the tournament. The one match I do want to look forward to, I think, is going to be when Nikolan's team is playing against Skyhead's team. That will be the one to watch. I'm not sure when those two teams are playing. I mean, I can actually look it up and try and find.
Yeah, it'll be some point in the round robin, but then also potentially in the grand finals as well. So we might get double.
A little repeat of that one.
Yeah. Assuming it goes the way that we think. But there was also, that 7-5 game that we didn't catch on stream. Looked to be a little closer. Now, both of those teams might be, at a lower level, and that's why it was even, or they both might be pretty good too. It's difficult to tell when a lot of these teams have kind of been put together from a bunch of popular streamers at the end of the day. Like, how do the practice levels and comfort levels with this game actually match up together? It's difficult to tell at the outset.
Let's take a look at the standings. I believe this is ready to show you guys how things went in round number 1. Nickelarn and SkyArt won their matches 7-0. BlyPlays took his down 7-5. And then we see the inverse of how everything went from everybody else there. 1s and 0s across the board. Nickelarn, SkyArt, and BlyPlays are winners from round 1. And we'll be moving into our next set of matches. And assumedly, we'll get some of these teams playing each other unless they are going to do the pain train on the teams and just cycle through. All right, Nickelarn and BlyPlays going to be going up against each other. That one seems exciting. Dollarcard and we'll be taking on Aki, and SkyArt taking on Highstyle. But yeah, Zaicho, my favorite, or the match I'm excited to watch is Nickelarn versus Bly.
Yeah, definitely, because I think that gives us some kind of idea of how good Team BlyPlays actually is. Because we saw they got the 7-5 win, but it was kind of close. There was some rogues in there that we don't really expect. And we already know that Team Nickelarn's team looks really well prepared and also incredibly aggressive and willing to just ego peek everybody that they see. So at some point, you're expecting that kind of style of play to get toned down a little bit. Normally, the pace of the game at the top level isn't quite, running at everybody and trying to just ego challenge them all the time. But, you have to be good enough to be able to punish that. And if you're not, then you're going to get steamrolled. So, it seems like a good game.
Wonderful community of people over there. We're actually going to change gears here and take you over to the highlight match that you guys wanted to see anyways. Nickelarn versus BlyPlays. I want the ability to set custom music for this walkout. Let me play my jam as my team walks into the arena.
Yeah, they've got
Sorry, what music would your custom music be? Can you give us a little
I can't tell you what my music would be because DMCA, but yeah, it would be a jam.
What I meant was, can't you invent a tune? I know that you're very musical. I know that you play a lot and compose your own music at some point.
That's
wonderful. Yeah, I'd love to roll out to my lane in that.
Does it really fit with the slow walk though?
Don't overthink it.
We'll have to workshop
it. Very upbeat, isn't it? It's very upbeat. Yeah,
we'll have to workshop it.
These are the two teams that we've been paying attention to. So Nickelarn's team, I mean, you can just see them immediately pushing out onto the site, taking up all this control, pushing over the wall and around the wall, taking out a lot of these players. But DevFox on the flank here. DevFox is one of these players who you need to be keeping your eye out for because they are actually, I believe, an ex-CSGO pro player, for one, now a streamer. You know they got the skills to pay the bills.
Yeah, this is huge, actually. DevFox has made such a big play, taking out the Fixer in the middle of their ult as well.
Yeah, I believe the knife... Did the knife just get shot mid-air? I think it might have.
I think they're running our way.
He said no.
Land.
Yeah, it didn't quite land. Nickelarn's team have got fairly decent positions. They're just trying to look out for where the Fixer is. I don't believe Team BlyPlays Fixer has popped their ult yet. I could be wrong here.
That's actually disastrous. Your Dahlia player getting knocked there. That's one of your characters that can revive people from a distance. So now it's all up to Exotics on the Ronin here. He's gonna try and stop them when they go. Oh my god! Almost getting the defuse off.
The time is so low.
Yeah, they know where the positioning is. He's just playing the post plan. Tries to go for the headshot. Tries to go for the down. He's not going to get it. They're just sticking the defuse. He got him, blocking, but he got him in the end. That is absurd. Are you kidding me?
That is ridiculous. That's as close as a first round can possibly be. It really is. That is the closest thing you can possibly get to. That's a wild end to that as well. What you get towards the end of these rounds too there, he's trying to stick the defuse the whole time, right? And as long as you're on the defuse, you can complete it. And so his teammate is trying to get in front of him and body block it to absorb the damage himself so that he can manage to stick the defuse. He just doesn't quite manage it. That's also a huge part of the benefit of this game being third person, is that you can pull off plays like that because you can get all of the information without putting yourself in danger.
How does the post-plant timings of Rogue Company stack up to other tactical shooters, of how long you have to defuse and how long it takes to defuse?
Tends to be a little bit quicker, but also the fact that you can get onto the diffuse and you can just continue to diffuse even if the time runs out, as long as you stick it, is a big difference.
You get a bit more leeway with that. I mean, they were completely right by saying it's a lot more beginners friendly for the tactical shooter genre. This is beautiful from Nickelarn's team. Using the grenades to clear out the angles here and just pushing all the way through. I mean, they don't even need the bomb down at the end of the day. Pushing together as teammates, just making sure that they can take the angles and take the 1v3s where they're available. You might start to see Nicolan's team run away with this now, actually, now that we're getting into like the rifle rounds. And it's not like other tactical shooters where one team will be on pistols the entire time, just getting rolled in eco rounds. Both teams are going to have the opportunity to buy guns, which they did in that last round. But it's when, if you're winning rounds, you're getting extra money, you have the opportunity to then buy upgrades, which often means you're going to have more utility, and you're going to start to snowball your lead a little bit more.
Yeah, and one of the not as snowbally as most tac shooters, though.
Yeah, one of the key differences, Sideshow, is you buy things every round, and you get to keep that exact loadout for the entirety of the half.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, and so if you win the rounds, you just get slightly more money and be able to buy more upgrades. It's normally the second round that's the most important, because if you don't get an elimination during that round, you can't buy a gun for the second round. If you don't get an elimination in the pistol, that is. Nice shot there as well. And that's going to allow them to open up the B site a little bit. It's been the one that they've been going towards most of the time, but they're actually going to make the wraparound as well. The smoke is a bit of a fake play here, and somehow they get the opening onto Bly.
Yeah, I think EXO just literally cooked a grenade. There's that infra site being popped as well, so you can see straight through the smoke as they're pushing straight through. The C4 actually does 130 damage, and they get the down anyway. I don't know how that happened. He was behind a wall, but it doesn't even matter. 3-0 for Team Nicolans here, and you can start to see really the difference between the very top teams, I guess the people who've been putting in the hours, in comparison to Bly's team, who we thought were, going to be comparable. This answers a lot of questions for us, actually, I think, as well, in terms of the skill level of a lot of these teams in this tournament.
Daddy.
For sure. I want to also draw attention to the comp that Team Bly plays is running at the moment. They're running a Saint and a Dahlia, so they have double reses available from either they're connecting with the Scorch as well, so the passive ability from the Scorch now goes over to the Dahlia too, provides a bit more ability there. Scorch is not also a rogue that you normally see being played that often, but you'll see a lot of her in in quick play and in ranked and stuff like that. She's very powerful when you get into 1v1 scenarios. Oh, those shots!
The Lord's name was that. Are you kidding?
Slopadopoulos. That ain't sloppy.
That UK talent, the C4 straight over there as well. Fired out, a bit unfortunate. Oh, they're going to get a res right.
Just get the res.
7 health, not even close.
Yeah,
that's that long range res as well from Dahlia. It's just huge, Just tie that onto your fixer, allows Slopadopoulos to go more aggressive. It's enormous.
Yeah, while that was entirely going on, I was just looking up Scorch because I forgot what her passive was. I'll be completely honest with you, and it's just immune to fire. So when Dahlia links like this, it's almost wasted potential, I feel, because the immune to fire aspect is only applicable when you're playing against certain rogues. In a lot of cases, it doesn't reduce explosive damage as far as I'm aware. So
I mean, who do you want to run it against? You want to run it against like a Scorch and a Vi, because Vi has Incendiary as well. So there's no Vi on the other team.
Yeah.
But at the same time, who do you even link the Dahlia to here if you're on Team Bly? Because the fixer passive isn't that amazing either.
It's pretty good though. The ability, it slows people down when you shoot them. Oh my, they're so clean with pushing this utility. It's insane.
Yeah, they've definitely had this stuff practiced as well. Smoke's out everywhere as well, so that just stops anybody pushing Slop. He's got so much space. And you can see there, I mean, the Scorch has no idea what's going on. They're just in the middle of a smoke. It looks so silly when you view it from the fixer's perspective, but you got to remember, they're completely blind, their opponents there. They're just in the middle of a smoke. This is still winnable here, though, for a Bly.
But not anymore.
No, not anymore.
Yeah.
But they had the res going off. They were in a fairly safe location. There was still something of an opportunity there to make that a 4-1.
Games like CSGO with the smokes, it's not really apparent when you're looking at the fixer's POV, but when the smokes are down and you're trying to run, because the game is a third-person perspective, when you're running out of the smokes, your enemies are going to see you way before you can actually gain any vision. Your camera will still be in the smoke when you're running out of it, and when your character model is out of it, which you kind of see in CSGO. They kind of do that, where you'll be able to see people just on the edge of smokes, and their vision is still obstructed. Much bigger in this game, yeah. So smokes.
Plus, you have someone that can see through smokes. Yeah. The smokes are mega powerful, which is why you'll often see Dahlia and Trench being used too, because Dahlia gets extra utility slots when you pair her alongside Trench, and she has smokes. So that just means that you have many smokes that are opportunities for your team. This is Dead Fox popping off, though, in this round. He's managed to take down Fang and Slop here. And Dead Fox was the player that made that first pistol round winnable for Team Bly. So this is a great start.
And a couple of risks need to be taken. You see Exotic's pushing up. He needs to try and get a pick here, but unable to do it. And this Bly ends up taking it. And this should be the round win. I mean, it's just the Lancer. Yeah, Nikolan's going to get taken out. So maybe a bit of... I mean, they got around the board. Listen, don't call it a comeback, but...
Yeah. That's the first round Nikolan's dropped the entire tournament.
Yes, it is so far. And both of the rounds that have been close to being dropped for Nikolan, which this one they do actually convert on, have been down to Dead Fox. It's that Fixer over here on the other side. The first time because he managed to get a good flank off with the pistol, probably using his ult as well, though we didn't catch it on screen. And in this round just hit some really nice sniper shots and downed, I think it was Slop and Fank immediately. Imagine this situation from the player's point of view. They know that there's players behind these boxes, but every time you push a box, you're risking someone peeking out and just tapping you in the head. So it's a bit of a game of chicken, and that's why utility is so important in this game, because you have to try and mitigate the advantage that the defending players have.
So you can melee a lot of this barbed wire. It's on the ground here, but look at that. The Visor's going to lay down a poison. It's hard to push through this. They've got one player watching the flank. I'm not sure who that is. But they're just going to be watching for anybody who's trying to push straight through mid. But it is a bit of a game of cat and mouse. You can see them peeking through, rolling away just to dodge out a lot of that fire. It's a precarious position for Dead Fox to be in, honestly. It's kind of left in no man's land.
Yeah, and there's nobody there with him to try and play up alongside. So, although
for an aggressive push, C4.
Oh, it doesn't quite manage to catch any. If that had been paired up with anybody else, oh, he's going to push over the top now, though. His teammate got a little bit of info.
Yeah, his team's going to try and get it. They get the assist and they get the push off. It's absolute chaos. They've exploded onto the site and it just punched them to death. Nikolan's team is now left in a 1v4. They've got the reses off. And watch this now. I believe that is just Slopodopodus, whatever the hell his name is.
Sloppy.
Yeah.
That's a great pistol round. That was really nicely done. They took control of the site. They found out where the defending anchor player was. They managed to still keep an eye over the flanks where anybody else could be, so that they knew that they weren't getting boxed in. And then they do a great execute onto that guy. And it gives us an opportunity as well to talk about like trades in this game. Most of the tactical shooters, the first guy will go in, and then even if they die, it doesn't matter because the second teammate will come in and get the trade kill. That's what it's called in most tag shooters. In this game, it works slightly differently. Because you can roll away and you can regenerate your health, normally what you want to do is push the first guy close to them and then roll away as the second guy comes in. And that way you can get 2v1 situations on somebody who's hiding behind a box where neither of your players is at risk of going down. And that's what Bly just pulled off in that previous round. So again, you can tell that these guys understand the basic fundamentals of like how top level team play works in Rogue Company.
Oh, they get a nice early kill though. Yeah, I mean, they've just they've really punished them hard here because the angles they're playing, they're so safe, and they've got to try and get that bomb. They are going to be able to get it, but they've downed them as well. I was just about to talk up and say how there are some weaknesses with Nikolan's team comp where they don't have the ability to get the distance reses, but now it's all up to Bly players to try and make it. They're trying to push them. They do get the res off from a distance again because he's playing Saints, who's able to get off, but he's been pushed from every single angle. It's not a winnable scenario, so that's going to make it 2-6 in the end, or 6-2.
And that's huge value out of the flank as well. They got pushed from mid, and yeah, just got destroyed. That's getting value out of the Lancer too. You know, if you don't have the ability to play for the long distance revives, you probably need to play a bit of a faster game and try and flank a little more. So exactly what Lan did
on the last map, and this map is just like really closed off.
One of the things I was looking at Nikolan's team com, and I was like, wow, they could actually be punished if they get a player down. They are forced to either hard commit to resurrecting that player, which means they can get flushed out with utility even more, or they just leave them to die, which means that honestly Bly could be playing for just singular picks and trying to push off of them.
Yeah, totally.
For an advantage, but it's hard to do, I think, when they had a beautiful crossfire set up, a nice early read, and you can see they're just committing one player. Nikolan's team, I mean Nikolan himself, is just going to be the sole person just anchoring down on the A side. So it's just waiting it out, seeing if they're going to try to go for any push attempts, but they know roughly that they're going to be trying to go for B. It seems like the most approachable angle of attack, at least, onto a site.
Yeah,
so
plus read sometimes on where they're going to drop, and the information that the Lance is going to feed over on the A side as well from Nicolan is huge.
Yeah, and look at this crossfire. They've got such a great line of sight all the way down here. Util, they get the bomb down. Supply players can start playing for that post plant now, and the pressure is on. The smokes come through, the infra side as well. You can see them taking some aggressive angles, pushing through the roll as well.
Oh.
But Exo manages to get, or Exotic, I should say,
1v1.
able to push right around that corner still, and yeah, pushing out in the open like that is death sentence in the 1v1. He has all the information, so Exotics is going to be able to get that kill pretty easily and the defuse, and that will mean that is going to be the match as well. In a 7-2 fashion, Nicolan's team taking it away.
The games tend to happen pretty quickly, and I think one of the things to remember as well is that this is like a more casual approach to the whole tac shooter genre. It's not as hardcore, gritty. But what that also means is if you start making mistakes early on in the half, even if a map is really defender-sided, if you let a few rounds go, there's only 6 rounds in a half. That is really small compared to most tac shooters. So any mistakes you make, you've got to fix them really quickly and adapt very fast from round to round. Otherwise, it can be really punishing. If you go down in a bit of a hole, you've given up like what, a third of your entire available rounds?
We have round 3 right around the corner, and there's a few stories evolving, gentlemen. We have some teams at the top that have lost, I think Dalukar's team's lost like 2 rounds or something like that. Like Nicolar's team. Nicolar's team has lost like 2 rounds at this point.
Yeah.
Then at the very other end of the spectrum, we have High Styles team who's getting $200 at the end of this, but they want to get a win here, Bren. What's it going to take? What's it going to take for Team High Style?
Extra $100 per player?
$100.
I mean, that's
not bad.
How many bananas can you buy? Like 2?
Now, obviously, there's 2 teams that are undefeated on the other end of the spectrum, and between the 2 of them, they've lost 2 rounds. So that's pretty exciting stuff. But we'll get to see those teams clash here in round 4. Though we'll watch those teams go head to head at the end of the round robin here. So that'll be a lot of fun to get into as well. And assuming they make it through unscathed here in this round, yeah, this has been it's crazy watching this game play. One thing you guys have pointed out that I think is actually really different than other tac shooters is the way that doing damage over the course of the round actually has so little impact. This game reminds me more of like an Apex Legends, where if you can't finish the frag, can't finish the down in the opening burst, it's almost like it doesn't matter because they will fall back and heal up. And that changes everything, Brett.
Here's the thing, though.
Right.
Go.
Start.
Started, baby girl.
Alright.
They should allow you to
Are you
mark
buying
on the
something
map.
first, right?
I'll buy Semtex, yes sir. I'm gonna try and flank, by the way.
Oh man.
Enemies planted the
Oh
bomb.
shit, okay.
Stop them.
I'm flanking. Nice flank.
Are they on site or are they playing back?
Really bad. Yeah. They're resting. They're resting hard.
Enemy been spotted.
One low side. Down.
Nice.
Pushing
One
close to
here.
you.
Go here.
Keep close to me,
Push
right?
me dead. Double dead.
Last guy's here. Marker.
Show me. Confusing.
Hit him. Watch.
5,
Alright,
4,
let's go, baby.
3. Bro, I got beamed through the smoke.
Bomb defused.
I gassed it off. They can't push it.
Okay.
One guy. There's a lot of them, eh?
3 guys. Yeah.
Okay.
They're all A.
It's a fake. Pushing mid.
Bomb here.
Go. Sell out.
Get out. We can play 43.
Got one more.
Great. Nice. Okay, push long on you two. Push long. Help him.
Here. He pushed.
He used
Maybe
more.
one-
Rezzing. Here.
Oh man. One short.
Can't
Oh fuck it.
get
I'll pay
him.
for re. Listen, we can retake this. I've got my
He has
shield
the
still.
ability up. Yeah. I wasted 1 gas nade though.
I don't know why I pushed that. That was such a dumb mistake.
No APSs, bro. I just realised I could literally stop the plan.
Yep.
So then when
Watch
you
mid,
watch
yeah.
mid, then can any of you watch mid? Just so I can volley the bomb on
That was such a stupid push. I did everything right.
that. Go on, go.
They use Demon Key. They're gonna come out
Thank
100%.
you.
Planting.
Planning.
Bombs out.
I'm not watching mid.
Find it and defuse it.
Nice flank.
I'm gonna go long. Down and long.
Nice. Last guy.
Push short control.
Bomb spotted.
Well played. Mid's clean.
Like, jump wall. Nick, you're very close to them. You're really close to them. Nice.
All enemies have been eliminated.
There we go.
1A.
Yep. More A. More than one.
Yeah.
One's lurking mid, then I was like.
One down.
Nice.
Nice, Nico. Can you finish that? Can you finish?
I can't.
One mid. They tried nading me. Tried nading me mid.
Okay.
I think he's behind these barrels. Like
One guy rezzing still.
Yeah, he's up.
He's
Just
up.
play chill.
They're going back. No, 2 are out.
One's definitely mid.
Exo, you got my back? Yeah.
I'd say
Yeah,
play
yeah.
behind this box against them.
There's still 2 here, so
They might just nade you or knife you.
I'm waiting. I don't think they have a
Brian
knife.
doesn't have knife.
50 seconds.
Guys, you have
Oh,
any utilities
they
in
pushed me
now?
both.
Oh, fuck.
I need help. Nice.
Got one down.
Well played. Well played.
I've got money.
One long sword.
Okay, I'm taking mid. I'm taking mid.
Nice. Well played.
Down, down.
Nice.
One more here.
Mid clear.
Close, close.
I'm gonna molly off. Let's take it. Wait, close where? White box?
Nice, Slob.
Let's go, baby.
Let's go, dude. You're insane.
Good job, boys.
Sloppy boy. That was a sick shot.
Dima, cute. I think he's mid. Dima.
Oh my god.
What a fucking knife! One here. Two here, Nico. Yo, what a play. More.
Dali here on me.
All friendly
What? She's 1 HP, dude.
How are you guys?
Oh
You got
my
double knife.
god.
It's knife down.
You should
You're not
smoke
even
off
in,
long
right?
here. Stop.
He's
I am,
playing
I'm
tree.
right.
He's playing on tree.
I'm there, boys.
He's half.
Okay. Can we get that knife?
He's on side. Wait, he's
On
on side.
side.
Wait.
Yeah.
Nice.
Nice.
Well played.
You just smoke, bro. Just
I got
get
the. I got
big
the.
hit.
Spike him.
I'm just gonna
Okay,
wait
wait,
for
we're-
this
we're
to go
really
off.
I don't want to look. I don't want to look.
One HP long, one HP long. Nice,
I'm helping
Nico.
you. I'm with you, Nico. I'm
Just
with you.
text.
I'm one shot.
Nico.
Nice.
Nice. Get in there, baby.
Down.
Nice, boys.
All enemies
Nice.
have been eliminated.
One
Okay,
trench, yeah?
poison.
Lethal out.
He's one shot.
Dead?
So, nice.
Backing, I heard
Nice.
him.
I think.
Nice, Slob.
Thank you.
Got him.
I'm just gonna
on
push
side.
through the
Side, on
poison.
All targets eliminated.
Okay. Or that.
Oh, nice love.
Well played.
Good job, bro. Good job,
I
boys.
see COD Zombies improves your aim. You know it, dude. Motherfucker.
They tried mealing me again, you know that. They got long.
3 rounds down, 1 to go. 1 to go, 2 to go. We got 2 more rounds to go. Round 4 about to come up. I'm your host, Wave Punk, joined here by Sideshow and Brandon. We've got a wonderful, undefeated matchup about to happen and to go down. And the thing that's on the line here, Bren, is basically guaranteed playing in the grand finals. So a reminder for the people that we're here at the beginning of the broadcast. We play this round robin, and then the top 2 teams move forward to the grand finals. You win this against the other undefeated team with only 1 round left, you are going to be one of those top 2 teams.
Yep, absolutely. I mean, this is where you get essentially a ticket to potentially earn that $7,000, right, in the finals, which is what these players are playing for.
Not too bad.
If you thought the previous games were sweaty, you haven't seen anything yet, because
you haven't.
you are literally going to see this team pushed to its extremes, I feel, with a lot of the game sense aspects, because a lot of the strategies that we just saw Skylar's team doing, like where they were trying to fake out bomb sites, it's going to work against the better teams like Nicola's team. So this is where the game really gets interesting. You're going to start to see it at the highest level, at least, or at least one of the highest levels being played between between these 2 teams that we're going to be witnessing, at least.
How Saito, how 5-head is it, or 3-head, to have like strats that only work against more skilled teams?
Yeah, I mean, that always happens in tac shooters, though, right? Because a lot of tac shooters are based on information, and the better teams are going to use information or lack of information to dictate where they rotate and how they play and like the decisions that they make. Whereas worse teams are a bit sloppier. They don't really use the information in predictable ways, and they just tend to like push all the time and try and take gun battles. That happens in every single game. So I think it makes sense here as well. I'm most excited, though, to see whether Team SkyArt has been working on those like set lineups that we saw them on stream using before our tournament went live, and to see whether they can like use that and the knowledge from MS and what he brings from actually playing Rogue Company on a top team in Europe to kind of push the whole of his team up and above.
Yeah.
So I think they have the slightly better round differential, though that might have actually just been removed because of those round losses that they just.
Yeah.
So I don't know. This game's going to be so tight.
It's
Yeah,
going to
we'll-
be super even.
This is going to be a lot of fun. I'm excited to see what map they end up on. But let's take a look to get you guys caught up on the standings, where things are after the conclusion of 3 rounds of play. Who actually does have the better differential? It's even. It's completely even. 21-3 coming into this. Oh, this is going to be so great. And on the other end of things, hey, hi Styles. I believe. Okay.
Yeah.
Take NRG in chat. Let's go with that one instead this time around. I believe that these guys can take a round win. And hey, at least they're making $200 a pop just for being here and having a good time. This will be the matchups we'll see. Nickelalon versus Skyheart. That's what we'll be watching here. Blyplays will be taking on Dalucard, and Aki will be taking on Highstyled. So watch those matches on their individual streams if you aren't interested in watching the best of the best. But if you aren't, tell me why. I would love to hear. Because that seems just illogical. We'll get into that game here. What Sideshow? What do you feel like is going to be we talked about the strats and stuff. What do you think is going to be the biggest difference maker between these two teams?
I think the biggest difference maker, the only thing that's going to push things over the edge here, in my opinion, is how comfortable they are with the maps and how to use utility on the maps. I really think that's going to be the biggest difference maker. Like, when you think about this game and the way that it works, it's so difficult to just push and take aggressive 1v1s in this game without comboing it with the rest of your team or without comboing it with some piece of utility. And so I think the teams that have the better understanding of that are going to be the teams that go further. And, on Nickelalon's team, we've got a lot of players who have experience with the game and look really comfortable playing it at team environment. But on our MS's team, we've got a few players that maybe don't have that as much themselves, but they have literally a pro player on their team that has been guiding them through how to play certain maps and retake scenarios and that kind of stuff and how to use utility. So I'm interested to see the brain difference here.
That's the thing. The amount of server time that Skylar's team or Skyheart's team has been putting in to the game, at least, is quite evident, I think. Yeah, it's quite evident. And despite the fact that Nickelalon's team, I was doing a little bit of prep work into this, and they've got Exotics, which is streams Rogue Company on a pretty regular basis, as far as I'm aware. Slopodopoulos, which is a name that I'm very impressed that I keep managing to not mess up on. I think I've only messed it up once. Slopodopoulos, who plays Rogue Company at, in some tournaments. They used to play Paladins as well, I think. Maybe they still do. And then Rogue Fank, which is also a Rogue Company kind of streamer or plays in tournaments. So Nickelalon's team is stacked with people who play the game. They know the concepts, the fundamentals of it. But I feel like MS has been trying to drill in some of that into Skyheart's team, because Skyheart was a former League of Legends pro back in 2012, which was decades ago. Well, actually almost a decade ago. I mean, that'll make you feel... That'll make you feel old. Yeah, almost a decade ago. It's 2012. Crew, former Overwatch pro, former arena shooter, kind of savage when it comes to just aiming. And Azo, I believe, was a former Call of Duty pro as well. So a lot of former pros being coached by MS. You've got these... It's essentially almost a case study of how quickly, within 48 hours, can you train 3 people who don't play much Rogue Company up to pro level and standards. And this is what we're going to see in this game. Now, if you were to just look at this on paper, you would say, okay, Nickelalon's team probably going to be the favorites coming into this. I'd be inclined to agree. But I mean, from what we've seen of Skyheart's team, they seem sweaty. They seem like they are drilling themselves in terms of what they want to do and their knowledge on certain maps. So I am going to be pretty excited to see if they can actually hold it. I feel like it's going to be close.
Yeah, I think it's going to be close as well. I'll give you a person to watch, though, with Wavepunk here. If we want to watch the head-to-head on both sides, I know that we've been talking about this Rogue a lot, but genuinely watch the Fixer gameplay, because this is MS, who's the best player on Team Skyheart, who's playing the Fixer, versus Slopodopoulos. And I mean, not only is his aim really good, but his name's really good as well. So he's got the name and the aim. And at that point, what else do you want?
Watching the Fixer gameplay, I think, is super interesting. You made a very interesting point in that last match of when the smokes come out. That's when the shooting happens. That's when that duel happens. So key things for you guys to watch at home.
Mega impactful for any Fixer players.
All right, here we go.
And here we go, the main event.
This is what we're waiting for. Wavepunk, hit us with your intro song.
I'm going to stop there before it becomes identifiable, but that is what I would go with.
Appreciate that. Extremely meta lineup here for Team Skyheart, whereas Team Nickelalon, in my opinion, the fact that they don't have a Dahlia here means no long range reses, no ability to get extra utility because you're not pairing it alongside the trench like you can see for Team Skyheart. So it is They need to be getting big value out of this Lancer, which Nikolan himself is actually playing here. So this point of view here is really interesting. The Lancer on the defense is going to want to be pushing up either from long A, which is on the right-hand side, or on mid. I don't think they want to play the slower kind of utility-based game because they have less utility and they don't have the max distance revives. So I'm interested in the strategy already going on here.
You're already seeing it. That was a smoke grenade placed perfectly on top of the box. You're going to see a lot of these poison traps laid down. My man's playing on the Nintendo Switch, I think. Look at that stretched res. Oh my goodness. Holy.
So much pressure already, though, onto the Vi that was trying to anchor on A. And they've managed to flush them out of position with great utility usage. And now that's pulled a bunch of the Nikolan defenders over to this A side. Over to B.
Look at that damage, bro. Okay. Laid into them on the point. That's going to get res back up, though. Lay down the smoke, so that's going to clear a bit of space for them.
But they've already used the fixer ult, so they know that there isn't really any pressure here. They can continue to face into the smoke. And mid control massively in favor of SkyArt.
They've got the pick. So
yeah, EXO was the only person watching mid.
The bomb is down, and they're just playing the post plans perfectly here. SkyArt know exactly how to play this. Every time they pick their heads up, I imagine they're being flanked currently as well, which is why they're constantly turning to try and look at that.
Oh,
yeah, and here comes the flank attempt.
They're just destroyed. That was beautifully played. That pistol land was phenomenal by SkyArt. By the whole team, I mean, not just the player. But that was really nicely done. So much pressure onto the Vi at the beginning of the round, pushes them out of position. Then they dominate mid, find a pick in there, and continue to apply pressure to the rotators that have come in to try and defend B. Plus, they forced out the fixer ult really early on in the round, so there was nothing really that Slop could do.
I think you should push up.
Very, very interesting.
Let's see what strat they've got for the second round here. I think as well, this second round tends to be the only one where the economy has a huge impact. Because if you don't get eliminations early on for Team Nikolan here, the team that goes down 0-1, some of them might not have rifles. I gotta be honest, I wasn't keeping track of like the money on either side, so I don't know whether any of them are running with just a pistol, but I think some of them might be because it was such a one-sided round.
You should always get money for a rifle, as far as I'm aware. You should always get money for that. But if you buy utility...
No, you don't. Sometimes you don't always get enough money for a rifle. If you don't have an elimination in the first round, you do not have enough money to buy a rifle.
I wouldn't know. I always get limbs. We did see the early down come out, though. The sticky bomb, I believe, or was the Semtex, came through, so they managed to get somebody down, but it was immediately rezzed up. They know, basically,
they know there's a player right behind this box.
Yeah, they know what's occurring right here, and you can see
double smokes come out. That's gonna force both the fixer ults.
Yeah, Infrasight posted. They're gonna start pushing through the smokes. Nikolan finds the pick onto SkyArt, but is traded out. Crew with 2 as well. The point is steadily, the pressure being pushed in here. They're gonna try and go for this defuse. It's a hard angle to get. Oh, it's just picking up the bomb. They haven't even planted.
Yeah, they haven't even planted yet. Yeah, they just traded 1 for 1 there too. Oh, yeah. Axel goes down. They're managing to find the trades here on the attacking side. And because there's no reses available for the defending team, they should be able to trade reasonably favorably, but they just can't. With the Dahlia going down, Team SkyArt are slowly getting pushed out of position, and you can see that most of this is just with pistols. This should have been a really easy round for Team SkyArt to take, and now it's all on MS.
Yeah, all on MS with the rifle. He's so low here. Been pushed from every single angle, but unfortunately the aim is not enough. It's going to be taking it, evening it out 1-1.
That is brutal as well. I think there was 3 players there for Team Nikolan that were only on pistols. They're just buying their rifles now. That is honestly, I mean, that is a disastrous round to lose for Team SkyArt. They should have been favored there to go up 2-0 pretty easily. But you can see there that the defensive point A was pretty good. Like, they always had players playing towards the back of the site, behind those walls on A, where they're able to anchor and get picks onto people that try and get those early plants.
Shows you how even this match is going to be, though.
Definitely.
Won this early on as well.
I think they're going to try B again.
The team play from Team Nikolan was really solid on that defense.
Like, their A didn't work at all. They might just go B again.
Fix mid.
You can hear it in the comms there as well. They're predicting the A hit. Sorry, they're predicting the B hit.
Yeah.
It was so disastrous in that previous round.
Smokes come down early here, and notice how the fixer ability still isn't used here. A lot of the teams try and bait it out. The smoke finally gets popped, so they're going to start to use it.
Oh,
Taken out through the smoke. That was a counter ult coming out from MS. They take out Slopodopomus, and now they're all down onto the point here. They're going to try and get the revives up. A lot of players down on the deck. They have
This is
to
the
try
problem
and get
with not
someone
having
above.
Dahlia or a Saint as well, right? This guy's positioning is so knowable because he has to go and resurrect them in person. There's no opportunity for long-range revives.
Nasty from Crew to pick up that as well. Just denying that revive. You knew exactly where they were.
I'm just gonna...
And we're in a
great push.
1v3 now. Make it a 1v4 because the revive just came up.
Yeah, so brutal. There's almost no way that Nikolan's going to be able to win this.
Only if they push him, realistically. It's so hard to do.
Unless Team SkyArt go for the ego challenge. I want to point out there, though, that was MS winning that round for them. And that's what I'm saying with the Fixer versus Fixer. You called it perfectly there, Bren. But as soon as the smokes go down and Slop pops his ult, I'm not sure which of the Fixers popped it first, but you have that battle between the two Fixers. And although Slop is on site trying to get the picks on people entering, MS pushes with the rest of his team and is immediately able to take out the defending Fixer. And at that point, it's essentially game over for them. Because they can push that, get the elimination, manage to convert the down. And it's 2-1 for Team SkyArt, looking pretty solid here. Their B pushes are going well.
It's a lot of pressure. A lot of pressure for them, I think, currently. Because remember, the winner of this match, these teams are so even in terms of their round score as well. The winner of this match essentially does go to the finals, even though there is one more round of matches to be played. It will mean that, well, actually, not necessarily so. I don't think that.
Yeah, not necessarily, but I think it's very likely.
It's very likely that they make their way to the finals. An early Fixer ability, okay, being used the Infrasight just to give him a bit of info. He's pushing straight through the smoke.
They've taken so much mid control. This is looking like a B split at this point, but they haven't really found any defender positions. And they've got ruined on the other side by Nikolan.
Nikolan's just pushed straight through them, and he's immediately taken a couple of them out with the nade, pushing with his utility. MS gets down as well. That's another round win. That's quick and easy, actually.
What a nasty little flank from the Lancer. He got a sticky bomb down and was able to push another one with the SMG. What a sick play from Nikolan. He must have, I think that he must have pushed on B. Like, as they were setting up to go for the B split, probably.
Well, here's the thing.
Then again, he could have flanked all the way behind from A as well. I'm not exactly sure where Nikolan's been playing.
But as soon as that Fixer ult gets used, when they have the Infrasight popped in mid with the deep smokes, they know the rough positioning. And they knew that they weren't trying to fire into like a cross into either A or B site, because presumably they knew the information, they knew where they were. And it does allow you to open up for a bit of a flank, especially when you're playing Lancer. You get that speed boost.
But I also think that Nikolan went for the flank around the A long here. I think he just literally pushed like he is doing now and got all the way behind them. And the reason I say that is because he has an idea that they're not going to want to go A because their A push failed so disastrously in the second round. Now he gets all of this info that they're stood here. They don't quite... Oh, the sticky bomb just misses. If he manages to land that on a player, it's an insta down.
Oh, it's been revealed. Again, you got tagged. So somebody on the enemy team has the perk that when you get tagged, you get revealed. But look at that. The nades come through, and they're finding the pickles on the back of it. This A push is disastrous right now for SkyArt's team. Nikola's going to be pushing with the rest of his team. Has to watch the flank, though. Does not want to get pushed up through the point, and it does not matter. They clean them up regardless.
Huge. So much info gained there from Nikolan, and also Slop just pushing around long, immediately getting that first down that was finished off. I think that was Fank that managed to get the follow-up on that down. And that's beautiful teamwork. And also, what I like here about Team Nikolan is that on the defense, they're getting so much information early on A. They know that Team SkyArt is uncomfortable with the A pushes, so they push someone deep defensively to either get an early flank or get the information that they're 4 on A. And that is just so much information to gather in the first 20 seconds.
Yeah. I like it as well. The positioning that Nikolan's holding with the Lancer as well. We saw the sticky bomb there, didn't work out. But if they try and push through that tiny alleyway, it's honestly pretty easy to hit that stick and try and get the down just off the back of it.
Getting info again.
Look at his power position. Okay, they're nading him out of position now. This is smart from SkyArt. Yeah, they're nading him. The sticky bomb's trying to deny him. He gets, I believe that was 200 damage, right? Or was it just 100? They try to avoid it and drop off the back. The Fixer ability gets popped off as well. The pistol comes through. They're getting the picks. C4 as well, just to clear the angle. Gets shot out. Barbed wire as well, tagging them around the corner. They're slowed. In the fire, in the molly, will not matter. Another round now. And that's 4-2. Slopodopomus putting up some big numbers.
We go A.
Yeah,
Good fucking
he managed to
plan,
get,
man.
I believe, a collat down based off the damage of that sticky bomb. The sticky bomb came down from Nikolan, and immediately Slop got 2 knocks. And I think that was just based on the people that were pushing the Lancer on site. Nikolan and Slop are just holding down the A site so superbly. I think Team Sky have got to go back over to B. The mid and B splits have been good. They just need to watch out for the flank coming from Nikolan. If they can fake a push, like fake a B split with some early deep utility in mid, and then go back to catch the Lancer, I think that could be a great strat to pull out here and try and recover this attack in half.
Yeah, but you have stops smoke as well.
Yeah, we'll.
That's like 2 smokes essentially.
Honestly, the A push,
Considering like
I didn't hate it coming out from Sky, and I felt like they had the right adaptations to it.
Yeah.
The utility to try and clear out Nicholas.
I mean, they got a very quick down onto Nikolan.
Yeah, Nikolan's position was compromised pretty early on, but the trouble is their team adapted so quickly to it because they just flushed them out with the utility when they're trying to push through the alleyway.
Slop just backed him up so well.
I feel like mid control is almost necessary if you're going to be trying to go for that kind of push. You want to threaten from honestly 3 angles at once, which is difficult
I
to do.
also think Team Sky want to be playing the slow game here. They've got the Dahlia. They can get reses from long distance. They want to be trying to take map control and threaten pushes in multiple situations, because the thing that Team Nikolan need to go for is these Lancer flanks for info. And if you can catch the Lancer when she's going on these long extended flanks, that's how you're going to win these rounds. That's how you're going to recover this final situation.
Yeah, the sides are swapped now, so the teams are going to get a bit of a difference up.
Oh yeah, of course.
Both these teams, yeah.
Good point. I thought that they had more rounds to be able to play here. They've already played all 6.
Yeah. So the side swapped, which means, but still, the point still, I think, remains that you were talking about with Nikolan watching these angles. So they can anchor Nikolan. Oh, he's just going to be popping it and just going straight in. Okay, the speed boost, the timing off of this. They must know that the positioning is not there. They're going to try and get an early bomb.
They went for a fake in mid. They got a bunch of information based off of it, so they know it's a free plant.
The sticky bomb, he gets it down on the back of it. Crew goes down. They might try and push this to try and deny the res. They have to. The positioning's pretty good though from Sky.
use the ability.
And the Dahlia's already linked to the trench, so they can't go for the long range revive here. In this pistol round, you don't get value out of that because you've already linked. They have got the Violet back up.
Yeah, they do get the revive back, but the bomb is down. It's buying so much time for them. Even if the infrasight phase is spamming through these smokes, and they're getting so much work done. The Vibe Poison comes down just to deny them onto the point. And he can't push through this though. Scorch and the Poison lay it down on top. They have to try and promote something. They chuck in the util, getting so many downs. Crudo putting up big numbers.
Oh!
The bomb. Okay, I think even if they defuse this, even if it goes into the time, they still should be able to get it. So you can see they ran out of time at the top. So despite the fact that they ran out of time with the bomb, even if you start defusing it at the end, then you do still get it. You don't get blown up in the end. So they do win the round in the end.
As long as you can start the defuse, you'll always be able to finish it. I believe that's how it works anyway. That's how I've always seen it operate. So you don't have to worry about the time crunch that much. You don't have to do it.
That was so close though.
Yeah, that was really close. It was nice post-plant positions from Team Nikolan, honestly. They had all of their players in the right position. It was just a big play from Crew. Crew managed to push forward with the Vi, I think, right? And he was able to both get his poison pools down and the incendiary grenade, and he just pushed forward.
They lay it down. Yeah, layered it down the area denial, and they couldn't push through the alley to play the post plan. It was like really, really well played.
Team Sky are coming back into this. The early link again on the trench, and this is happening because that gives your Dahlia more utility to play with in the round. You have more grenades, more smokes.
You can see this angle that they're playing off of. And we mentioned this briefly earlier, I think, right at the start of the broadcast, but it just gives you a line of sight straight into B, so you can see if they're playing it. And now they've got an inkling that, okay, they're either playing top, mid, slow, or they're playing to try and move into B, or into A, I should say. And that's why they're starting to dedicate more bodies over towards A, because they have a feeling that they are just playing this slow and steady.
It's a passive approach to the A-hold, though. There's no one holding the long flank, and there's no one pushed up in alley either, so they're going to get this information pretty late. The Vi's also not in the perfect position to actually deny any of this, so they're playing a full retake setup, basically, here.
Yeah,
Can't really chance. Oh, they've gone for the fixer ult there, I think. Did he?
Yeah.
Did MS pop it? Maybe not.
I don't know if AMS popped it, but I do know that they used the utility to push them out of positioning to get the bomb plan down, which is honestly just a major key now, because okay, so the fixer ult ended up being popped with a fixer ability, I should say. So they
that was from Slop. I don't think
from Slop.
MS popped his. Maybe he did, though. I thought... No, they haven't yet. You can hear Slop actually calling it to the rest of his team. They're going to fix roll. They're going to fix a roll.
It's a lot of players down, though.
Big flank from
Nice
Nicholas.
flank. Huge flank from Nicholas. Look at him go right around the corners here, trying to dodge and juke. Wait a minute, he gets the trade up. He's down, though. They have to try and go for this defuse now. It's the 1v1 scenario. He's being pushed from the backside. The bomb plant's there, but the 2-tap. Slopodopoulos finds the pick and takes the round. 5-3 for his team.
Oh, dude.
And it's always going down to the wire.
Yeah, man.
That was such a good round as well. They're finding value out of these Lancer flanks. They really are. They're getting great opportunities to be able to get around into the back of them. And now Team Nicolan actually have the Dahlia too. So they're in a position where they can work off both of those aspects.
Yeah.
Sherlock Homeboy in chat says, "Yo, is this Sideshow and them?"
Yep.
That's what I like to call Bren occasionally. Just them.
Just them. I'm an accessory, you know.
And the other one.
You want me to-
The other guy. Yeah. This, I love autocorrect. I either get them when people type my name, or I get Bean.
Yes, Bean is a very common.
Bean I get all the time. People trying to type Bren, they type Bean instead.
Look at the perks available for Fixer, though, too. He gets armor, so an extra 25 health. He has the C4 to be able to flush out angles, the cluster smokes, the Fixer active ability as well, and this sniper rifle that can one-shot headshot or two-shot body shot. It's crazy the amount of work you can do on Fixer.
Oh, that's an instant down.
And again, Slop is playing on controller here as well. So these good Fixer players, they do tend to be controllable.
Are you kidding me? Oh, God, Slop, please! These people are families. The headshot after headshot. And he's holding the angles down. His team can push immediately off the back of this one. He's put so much damage into them. I don't believe it. Are you kidding me? That is actually nasty.
That is a ridiculous round.
Get it, baby.
He's popping off as well. He's popping off on the comms with his
Oh
team.
my
6-3 up now, making it look a little too easy, to be honest. Team Nicolan just dominating here. I thought MS might have the advantage in the Fixer 1v1, but Slop has dominated this game. 13 downs, and what was that, 16 limbs?
Yeah, on the sticks as well.
Crazy amounts of work.
On the sticks, on the controller. I mean, his controller players, they aren't messing around. A lot of the top players in Rogue Company, they play on controllers. I don't know.
I mean, MS is, well, both of these Fixers are on controller.
Yeah. I'm not too sure what the split is in terms of like mouse and keyboard versus controller, but
Yeah, I would be interested to know as well. I think most of them are controller, though.
these A hits have worked out so well for Nicolan's team. They're able to just take so much space early on. You can see Trench laying down the barbed wire early, just to try and deny the positioning, but the smokes come through and they can start just beating it up.
And the biggest difference between these two teams is that Team Skyart aren't actually fighting for aggressive control over A. They're giving so much map control to Nicolan's team. And this sightline is deadly for Slop. You have to deny him getting on that sightline, and instead, he's just got full reign of everywhere.
They're pushing straight through. They want to try and deny that resurrect. They get a second headshot. You are kidding me. And that is it. That's the match. That's a 7-3. Nicolan's team taking it in honestly a very dominant fashion. If this is going to be the rematch in the finals, which I think it might be, we still got one more round of matches to be played here in a round of 5 after this one. But it's looking like this might be it. You got to go back to the drawing board, honestly. This is where you got to rethink your strategies coming into this, because Slop got so much value there on the Fixer, so much value, and the team just worked perfectly around the utility. The slow and steady play style that came off the back of Skyart, I feel like they got punished pretty hard off the back of it.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, though, the Lancer, when they were playing on defense, was much better than I thought it might be as well. Nicolan was finding huge value in being able to get those flanks and get the early aggressive information over on A, too. So they didn't even need the Dahlia or the Saint when they were on the defense. And then, you know, he was still able to get big value out of those stickies that he hit multiple times when they were on the attack on A, too. So just overall, a really great map. And I think you're right, Brent. If this is the rematch for the grand finals, Team Sky have got to be thinking about maybe like a different map pick. Genuinely, because it's looked outclassed there.
That was I couldn't tell if we were watching a game of Rogue Company or just straight up Slopodopoulos's frag montage. Like so
He's dominating, bro.
it was incredible, especially there at the end. What a way to conclude it there. And round 4, the game we all wanted to watch does go in Nick Alarn's favor. They will be guaranteed a game in that finals, but who will be there to face off against them? We'll find out in just a little bit. We're gonna go to a quick break. When we come back, round 5, the last round here for Europe, and to decide who's gonna face off against Nick Alarn in the finals will be going down. Stick around. You're watching Twitch Rivals. Well, let's take a look at the standings as they look going into round number 5. Right now, we got one team up at the top, looking just fine and dandy, 4-0 there, and 2 teams at 3-1. Skyheart and PlayPlays are about to play each other. The winner of that match goes into the finals. So, some exciting details on the line here.
That is so close. I thought Team Skyheart would be further ahead, but they are neck and neck with Bly.
This is exactly the script. They followed it to a T. Thank you, gentlemen. And for High Styled, one more round.
One more round.
Chance.
Oh,
Please, High Styled.
oh, they're not on 28. I really thought they would have gotten around by now. That's unfortunate.
We'll see how it goes. They're going to have to go up against Dalucard to do it. Nick Alarn will be taking on Aki. So in that match, not going to matter too much unless they happen to lose it. And then there's a chance that no, because there's only going to be 2 teams of 4-1. Then.
Yeah,
so yeah,
no
I think
chance.
they are guaranteed at this point. That'll be a fun round to see who gets $100 extra. And Bly plays the guy. That is absolutely the story of the day. So we'll be watching that one here in just a moment. And chat, you're getting educated.
Let's get nades, boys, if we can. We don't have any nades. We do have top tier flanks. Yo, if they go A this round, right, Nicola?
All right.
I want you to show yourself at A,
Stop the
yeah?
enemy
And then
from
can you
planting
run out and
bombs.
go right round them? Do you reckon that's something you can
I don't have time to do
do?
that.
Like,
I doubt I have time to do
I
that.
think, not like,
No, just
I'm
go
saying,
to the
like, show
same
yourself
shit.
there,
Like,
right?
you up on the corner
Okay,
again.
okay.
Bro, I have a
That's fine.
Semtex. It's my specialty, bro. If they come in, somebody's getting stuck.
that is true.
Like
That is
that's
true.
Nothing mid.
no steps on
Okay.
A.
Nothing, okay.
I'm gonna be
I'm
pushing from A.
One's
I'm
I
holding you.
don't know if he's on site. I can't tell if he's on site. If I'm Q, I can't do anything. Poisoning?
I'm pushing.
On
I'm
site.
flanking. I'm flanking.
One on
He's
side, one on
on
side.
side. One side on side.
Dead on site, dead on site.
One mid. One is mid. Nico, can you help me?
Down,
Site,
down,
site, site, site. Right there, right there.
One guy down.
Spotted.
Burn
Last
it.
guy mid. Last guy mid.
Coming.
Find this
You
shit.
sure about that?
Yeah,
No
he's here.
enemies remaining.
Nice.
Nico,
Nice.
you
Well
ran
played.
past, he was sitting by the box shit right here. See this? Right here.
Seriously?
On here. 2 here, 3 here, 3 here.
Coming
Nothing on
in.
A.
I'm like beaking, they're
Coming
literally beaking me, man. I'm like,
Yeah.
Big
Wait,
Saha.
I'm gonna sit on the box. I'm gonna sit on the box.
be honest, be half full. Only 2, I only saw Scorch and
I see Scorch on half full.
Yeah, 2 there. I'm gonna try and use some poison, maybe I can push them out for
I
you.
shot him once. Just chill.
Fix
down, fix down.
Nice. Good shit. You can try flank now, Nico, maybe. Watch out for mid though.
Oh yeah. 2 of them, covering the
Hit him
flank.
once.
One here.
Go,
Down.
go.
Okay,
Go.
last coming towards you now. Last guy in
Yeah,
mid.
yeah.
Yeah, coming
Please
up.
stop, please stop.
Down.
Last guy up here, marker.
Nice. Well played. You guys are insane.
The bomb has been
Flanking,
spotted.
flanking him. Where is he?
Absolutely insane team,
Yeah,
dude. That's it.
Oh my
Nice.
god.
Let's get it, slop.
Oh.
Two guys A. One guy
I
close.
can volley it, I can volley it.
One more, Nico. You push him. He's one shot. On pit. Right here, marker. Got him, baby.
Last is my B.
Get the headshot,
All
slop.
targets eliminated.
My God.
Oh baby.
Nico, stand up.
I'm watching from behind here,
Are they
dude.
both on you?
Yeah.
Yeah, but... Oh, free kill.
Go back, Jeff. Go back, Jeff.
Nice. 1v1.
1v1.
Oh, 2v1 again.
2v1.
Find him. Free kill.
Oh, he fucking beat me. It's all you, baby.
Play time, yeah, play time.
She has a knife, I think, which would be bad.
No,
Still
she's
sitting
she's
same
that.
side. He's gonna try rest.
Oh, you want
He
me.
did. No, he's not.
We found the bomb.
He's on this box right here.
Yeah, I know it.
Blocking him.
After me again, huh?
It's all good.
You have bomb though, I think. You see it.
You can pop Q and go middle if you want.
Nice, baby.
Remaining.
Lovely. Good boys.
That's what's up.
Let him push
Fire,
it.
fire, okay.
Don't peek him. Victor, you might have to.
Yeah, pull up in. I'm pushing.
Push him.
Nice flank me.
Nico.
Oh.
Whew.
I told you
That
that's
flankeroni, dude. It's not yet over, dude. 6-1. We still got one more round to take.
Just show ourselves
Listen,
again.
listen.
Stop, you peek B, right? No, actually, no, so you peek B with Deagle. Me and Stop. Let's peek yellow wall here. Maybe we'll kill one middle.
Okay.
Like here on the left. Like jump up here maybe, if you want. I don't know.
Nothing.
They're not playing on B.
I
They're
saw
not playing on
score
B.
down here.
Wait, fix
Really?
it in the back.
Send me then.
Fix it right here on the corner.
I'm gonna need help.
Let's go in like 5 minutes. Now go, Nico.
More on me, I think. More on me.
Pushing.
I'm pushing mid way. Let's go,
Flanking
boys.
him.
Go.
I got shot.
We just have
I'm gonna need help. I'm gonna need help.
Nico,
Get her. Well played.
Fix.
Objective.
any more?
Scorch CT. I'm fixer.
Alright, let's go rotate again.
No, we can stick to this if we want.
Rotate.
Trust me, rotate again.
Alright.
Rotate again.
You're alone though. Be careful.
Yeah, we can.
Exo, move your fat ass.
I'm going, brave.
You're right. One more round. There you go. Like things can get complicated very fast, dude.
Close, ready?
He's half.
Fixer.
I can poison this and you can just plant if you want. I should just go plant now. Plant on wall.
Oh, yeah.
Both here mid.
Bombs armed. See it through.
I'm gonna watch jump ball. Just watch the copy area.
One
spawn.
One CT.
Be
One
careful.
CT. Can you push middle grab me? Push scorch me here. Ready? Here. Push scorch me. Excellent. They're both here. We can push this guy. Fix on me.
Okay, nice. Wait, that's coming side down. Side right here. On that one. You see marked?
So.
You can play time.
Side.
You see him. It's all good.
Oh, I see.
Wait. Pick up my molly if I die.
Nice. Good job, baby girl.
Wonderful stuff from them. And they are, I believe, I mean, we still need to calculate it at the end. There could be some tiebreaker stuff coming in, but they are. Wavepoint, you're nodding.
I believe so. I believe they will be facing off against Nicolarn's team in the finals. Even if Nicolarn drops their game, they would still be the top 2 teams. So that will be our finals. SkyArt, Nicolarn, again, the rematch. Can it go the other way this time? And yeah, I'm excited to see.
I definitely think it could. Like, I think that Team Sky actually learned some different style that they want to play in that game. They actually looked better as soon as they turned up the pace, got a little more aggressive. Crew was finding big value on the lurks as well.
Yeah.
And people were supporting MS a little more. I like the way that they were playing. I think if they take it to a different map that isn't Icarus, like the one that they lost on before, they could definitely get a win out here. I mean, you could argue that they need to shut down Nicolarn when he goes for the Lancer flanks, but at the end of the day, like I think it comes down to the Fixer. And Slop was doing so much work when the last time we saw Nicolarn play against Team SkyArt, so I think that's what the grand final is going to come down to again.
Yeah, it really is.
Wait.
You can see that this was the 7-1 in the end, so.
The Brazil.
Yeah, it was the Brazil scoreline comes back. So it wasn't a 7-0 though. Wasn't a 7-0.
It wasn't 7-0. They did take a round off them, but we are finally down. We had 6 teams at the start of the day. We now have 2 who are going to play in our grand finals for all the marbles and $7,000 as a team, the lion's share of the prize pool. Who will it be? I'm excited to get there and find out. So we're going to take a quick break, get the grand finals set up. We'll be right back on Twitch Rivals. Oh boy, we are back and it's grand finals time. It's time to find out who is the best in Europe at Rogue Company. We're getting into our one final match. I've got Brennan Sideshow alongside me here. They've been wonderful. Well, they're about to be alongside me. There they are. But you guys, I summon you and you should just arrive at that same time, okay? I don't.
Okay, we'll try and work on that.
It won't happen again.
Faster.
Sorry,
Yes, Chef.
Caleb.
Chef. Okay, so let's talk about the standings of the completion of the first the rounds of round robin we just did. All 5 of them. Show you guys how we got to where we're at right now. English is getting a little bit hard, and I better strap in because we got a whole nother one of these to do in just a second. Here is the show we've gotten so far. Nicolarn undefeated up until this point.
Yeah.
They've only dropped 7 rounds across 5 games. But SkyArt is right behind them, just a little bit more sloppy. They've only dropped 1 game, and that was to Nicolarn. So those 2 teams about to face off in the finals. We appreciate the other 4 teams playing, but their day does end here. Go check out all those people. Use the Twitch Rivals extension. Find a list of all of the competitors that have played so far. This is your grand finals matchup. Nicolarn's team going up against SkyArt's team. And what's crazy, gentlemen, is these are the 2 teams you picked at the beginning of the day.
Yeah,
That is
it's
crazy,
almost
isn't
like we've got an incredible eye for talent, you know?
Oh.
We can tell who's good right at the start. I'll tell you what, Team Nicolan's round differential is absurd. They're averaging like 1 and a bit rounds lost in every match. That's crazy.
Yeah.
The fact they only have 7 rounds against when they've played what 6 games? So no, 5 games.
5 games.
5 games so far. Yeah, that's crazy though. That's like 1 1/4 games that they've lost. 1 1/4 rounds that they've lost in each match. That's absurd.
Is that
so
it?
dominant.
What's 7 divided by 5?
I mean, it's some kind of weird fraction. I don't know. It's somewhere close to 1 1/4.
Oh, it just did the math. It didn't actually like say it. The answer is that was going to be fun. I was going to have Siri tell us or whatever Android's voice is called. 1.4. 1.4. So very, very close to 1.2.
I mean, it would have been better if I'd said 1.5. I suppose I would have been actually a little more accurate if I'd said 1.5. But I was trying to round down. I was trying to make them look better.
Yeah, it's still 1.4 is still incredible. It's still less than 2. So we'll see how these teams. And I do think 2 is the most they've lost at any point in a game. So if
I love this is like math with Caleb, and it's like yes, 1.4 is less than 2, so that's
My
good.
brain doesn't work. You guys stop talking about numbers. I've been up for hours and hours.
Gotta keep it simple for chat. They
You gotta keep it simple
appreciate
for me. Forget about chat. You gotta keep it simple for me. Oh,
simple for Brent, my life motto. Okay,
Uh-huh.
so we have a grand finals to get to, gentlemen. You both made a pick at the beginning of the day. The question, and this is I think a harder question for one of you than it is for the other. Are you sticking with your pick?
I predicted
Team
Skyer.
Nicolan, didn't I? Yeah. I mean, I feel good about Team Nicolan.
Yeah, I feel like this is easier for Sideshow. The question is,
I'll tell you what. It's easy for me as well. I'll stick with the Frenchies. Why not? Because they did show some adaptation in their last match. Now, are they the favourites? No. But do I believe in them? Yes. And that's all you really need sometimes. You just need a little bit of belief.
A little bit of self-belief.
Mm-hmm.
Would you put your house on it?
No.
Put a house on it. Would you put a house in Arkansas on it?
Yeah. I mean, I don't own the house, so sure.
I'll bet somebody else bet it.
We are looking at a totally different map, though, so I think that does give an opportunity for the game to go differently here. SkyArt have picked Factory to play on, so we're going to be going to a map that plays totally differently. It's not the same as Icarus whatsoever. It's going to allow for different opportunities for rogue picks and different strategies, all sorts of stuff.
This is one of the maps we saw SkyArt. It was SkyArt that was doing the server time, right? Planning out.
They were doing it on this map. This was the map they were putting the prep into. So SkyArt, they know the angles, they know the rough approach of how to go into this match. I'm going to see what they can do right here. I mean, as you can see, the team's going to be rolling out here. We're going to go for the a bit of a split approach, as you'd expect. I think they're going to be running 1 in mid. That's going to be the Lancer. So you have, of course, the mobility, the speed boost increase, and just holding this common angle here. And this is what you're going to be seeing a lot from these guys.
Yeah, and the Vi is so powerful as well at being able to lock down this site.
They're all crazy.
But they've already pushed. You can hear that Slop calling it out in the comms, his beautiful Essex accent.
They pushed me. Yeah, and that's going to be straight through onto the A side. They downed him, but look at this. Exotic's already finding 2 pickoffs, and they've managed to wrap around completely. Wonderful timing. The flank comes through. I mean, we didn't see much of it, but I think it was all off the back of the utility.
Yeah, I think they managed to knock 2 with the incendiary grenade, didn't they?
Yeah.
I think I saw that pop up in the kill feed. Maybe it was a knock and a kill. That's kind of wild though. That was an absolute shutdown. Those rotates came in so fast after they pushed the fixer.
Is there a point at which you lower the quality of your game so much that the maximizing of frames actually stops mattering and you start to hinder yourself because you can't see?
I mean, definitely. I mean, at some point, there are just not enough pixels to be able to go around.
But I will say, I got a lot of respect for my man Rogue Fank, you know, because he's pushing the game to his limits. What can you say? He's trying to maximize, squeeze every bit of FPS he can get out of it. Sometimes, that was risky. Okay, Slop realized, he's like, maybe I can get an early pick. They already had lined up a shot onto it, so had to roll back. And look at this. Okay, the nades come through. These are deep smoke grenades, so they're trying to force out the infrasite early here.
I'm staying B still.
Yeah, definitely. But I think they're looking for a full retake setup. No, he does actually go for it here, Slop. What a nasty headshot.
You're kidding me.
Where's he?
That is a down though, and they have the capabilities to try and revive that when they're pushing through the smokes. The pings come through. They just revived it, so it is still the 4v4. Now the C4 comes out around the back. He's Are you kidding me? What is that? Slop finding 2 kills. No one's able to collect up those pieces, and it will mean the bomb is going to get disarmed. Slop, a huge play. What a ridiculous stuff coming out from him with the C4, the ability usage.
Yeah. And this is the guy that we were talking about here for Team Nikolan, where you've got to shut him down. I like the pressure early on his side of the site. You know what I mean? They were already ready to pre-aim him as he popped up over the fence. But he was just still too good at the end of the round.
It's nasty. You can see just Slop, I think, just his experience in the game on that role. You know, maybe the Fixer is the role that he plays commonly in Pugs and in Pro Play and things like that. But you can see how comfortable he is in terms of using the utility, when to use his infra site, when to just hold off on it, when to smoke, when to push with the rest of his team. Very disciplined, and it's just working out in spades for them.
I'm still thinking about that C4.
It's never happened before. It never will happen.
The C4 is so powerful.
Oh,
I mean, that's why people buy the utility so early on in the beginning of these rounds. It's like you buy utility, like the smoke, then you buy your rifle, then you buy the rest of your utility.
Bro, Slop again finding a little 2-piece. Again, the action off of this guy is just pulling out numbers like I haven't even seen before. Now you can just see the health bar, but the push attempt coming out as well. Lance making some plays here. Nikolan finding so much damage being pushed, and the utility off of the back of it is a 3-0 thus far. What the heck is going on?
these are some of the fastest rounds we've seen all day, and it's our grand finals.
Yep. These are so rapid, so fast, and it's really just off the back of like Team Nikolan knowing how to adapt up the fly. Team Skya, they're struggling to try and find an answer here. I'm trying to think of what they could possibly do, and maybe it is a case of trying to, pressure with utility early, try and take away some of the space the Slop has been working with. He has been one of that hard carry players, so maybe trying to essentially force him back, maybe just even avoiding his site completely, trying to go for a bit of a B approach. They tried it last time. They got caught out by the flank, but you just need to be watching those extremities a little bit closer.
I think maybe as well, MS needs to be trying to ego peek him a little more and like actually take him out in the middle of these smoke battles. MS seems to be playing a little more passively than somebody. Yeah, he's lurking a little bit. He's trying to feed his team info, that kind of stuff. But at the end of the day, like MS is the pro player on this team. Like the guy has to step up and start hitting some big shots because at the moment he's not having the same impact as Slop. And this isn't his role, by the way. When he plays for his team, he plays the Vi normally. He plays that role. He doesn't play the Fixer. But at the end of the day, like the guy is super skilled and he understands the game to a super high level. So I think he needs to just like increase the ego, inflate your head a bit, believe in yourself, and just challenge Slop. Go for the ego duels. Yeah, I think so. Just smoke it up, push Slop, try and put a lot of pressure on him, and just believe that you're going to hit the shot rather than him.
So there you go, smokes placed, infra sight as well, just to see if they can gain positioning. A little bit of line of sight. They do go down. That was Crew just spamming through the smoke here. Unable to get him up. This positioning is really quite bad, actually. They're all caught behind the container, and the rotations are going to be coming through. The pistol comes through, finds one pick. Infra sight now spotted off from here from Slop. My God, what a tongue twister. No! Still finding the picks! Slop, are you kidding me? It is now the 1v2 scenario. They know where he is. He finds the thirst kill. Now he's going to be running back. As they rotated all the way. The bomb still not down. They've just dropped it, trying to get this plant down. They still haven't planted it. If Slop is fast enough, he could get a pick off the back of it. But finally, they get it down. Are you kidding me? Slop now in a 1v1. Could go for the revive here, but I don't think MS wants to go for it. Well, let's again. The C5 pushes him. He misses the no scope. MS finds the pick, gets the revive, and he wins the round.
That's got to be one of the best rounds that we've seen in this tournament. I mean, Slop was left until last. Still managed to down, I think, 3 players over the course of that round. And it was left to the Fixer v Fixer at the end. And again, though, Bren, it was MS winning that with his brain. As soon as the C4 came out, he pushed with the pistol because he knows it takes time for Slop to pull out his rifle again. So again, MS isn't going for the ego challenges. He's giving a lot of respect to Slop, and instead he's trying to just play more intelligently. It hasn't honestly worked that much so far, but in that 1v1 towards the end, MS absolutely pulled it out for his team.
But here's the thing. That's the one round Nikolan's given anybody. If Skyart wants to win, they gotta win more than one.
That's true.
That's also how the game works. But you know, still.
Yeah, but you got to start with that second round. They'll spot you one for free. That's the average. 1.4. We did the math. Siri did the math. Just repairing his armor here.
Yeah, it's one of the perks of when you get the armor.
Yeah, something that a lot of players don't realize when they start the game as well, that you can repair armor and that you can buy double utility. You press the something that I had to figure out.
See, by
Yeah, it is. Yeah, you have to press the 5 button to swap between the double grenades that you have. That is a super common thing that a lot of new players miss. Hello, that grenade just flies straight past MS. He's the only player around on B though, and he's kind of waiting for the rest of his team to open something up on the rest of the site.
You can see them just hopping around, like up and down. They're just trying to find a position. They're cooking this nade. You're cooking it. Oh, okay.
A little too much there.
Yeah, not finding the necessary angle. Again. Slop's going to abuse that straight
And
away.
that's the Dahlia. That's the Dahlia that you've knocked. So he pushes it. That is great, though, from Crew to fake it.
They're pushing it together straight with the infra site. That's MS finding another round of his team.
Oh,
That's beautiful. I love the way that Crew played that as well, though. With the Dahlia knocked on the floor, you know that the res has to come in person. Someone has to run over to the Dahlia and physically resurrect her. And so that baited out the push from Nikolan. Crew turns around, boom, bullet to the head. Manages to take out the player that was pushing him. He kind of faked the res and got a kill off the back of it. I love that play from Team Skyart. They're keeping this one close.
Really smart.
that's 2.
That is 2. Yeah. Well,
More than average.
Above average.
Serial attest.
if this was the beginning of the comeback, here's where it happens. You know.
Definitely. On Factory,
This is-
where they've been putting in that server time as well.
Yeah, Skyart obviously coming in as the underdogs in this match, given the fact that the last two times these teams faced off, it was Nikolan's team who took the win, as you can see from that 5-0 against the 4-1. But this was the map.
Okay, putting out the smoke towards the back of the site. We saw this on the previous pushes. That normally baited out the Fixer ult from Slop. The players will know. You can hear that. It's a pretty clear audio cue. Difficult for us to hear because we're talking over the top of it, but...
Oh, MS goes down.
MS.
That's really bad. That was a push coming out.
Yeah, they know that MS has just been playing solo around on B, and they just find the opportunity to push him and take him out.
It's a good adaptation.
Oh, they're pushing as well. Nikolan on the Lancer again goes for the push into mid and manages to down Sky. He's going to try and push again.
Really nice, actually. Really, really nice. That's punishing the greed. And again, that's the downside, but they're being pushed.
but they're pushing the other side.
Straight away, they're being pushed from almost every single side here. They've got one of the reses up, but standing in the poison too late.
Oh, that's so nicely played from Team Nikolan. I love that play. I mean, obviously the Lancer is going to get punished there when you go for the push, but at the same time, you're creating space for your B players to push out into mid as well. That double flank it's so difficult for the attacking team to maintain map control in that position. Because not only do you have a player down, but you have a player dead, and it's not like there's no situation for you to be able to get a res from distance. The Dahlia is the one that's down on the floor.
That's why you see some teams go for the Saint and the Dahlia.
Yeah.
To just open up the amount of options they have for the long distance revives, but yeah.
Bit of a change here though. Azo now working onto the trench, so they've got trench and Vi for defense. On the other side, Team Nikolan still running with that Lancer. Lancer and the Dahlia though as well.
The freaking game because I can't throw my nades and I can't freaking flank because they watch it. Luckily, my team is good and they.
Oh, there we go.
Nikolan's talking about the fact that they're really trying to shut him down on Lancer, which I think is an adaptation from the first time that they played. You know, Nikolan's saying he's just trying to buy space for the rest of his team, and the rest of his team are good enough to be able to pop off. But they're kind of countering him because they're really watching the flanks and monitoring that. The problem is, though, the Team Sky haven't, when they were attacking, that is, they weren't really able to get very much map control because they were constantly worried about Nikolan flanking. So even the threat of the Lancer is actually still having impact here. So I wouldn't be too angry if I'm Nikolan. I think he's still playing pretty well. Was that a stick?
He got the stick onto the ankles. Crew gets taken out. He wants to try and push this. Oh, he's going to find the piece. Unbelievable plays from Nikolan there. And that's going to be another round under their belts to make it 5-2.
God, that solo play is so nasty from Nicolan.
Wow.
He's just sat there in his chair, kind of wiggling around. He's like thinking to himself, hell yeah, I just popped off. Just after I was talking about how they're so focused on shutting me down, I just popped off. Hell yeah.
You know what's funny? I was sitting here, I was like, so if they're playing the flanks.
He's looking at the chat. He's looking at all the pogs.
Oh, he's a streamer, man. He knows what this works. The thing is that they're playing on the flanks. Isn't the mid the place to go then? Play the place that they're not defending, and that's exactly where he went. I'm not sure if it's for the same reason I was thinking,
Yeah,
but
I mean,
it's a crazy play.
They went for the 4-hit. All 4 of them just tried to just go for hard executes onto A because they knew that they were going to be essentially tending 1 or 2 people towards the flanks. It worked out big time.
Ridiculous though, because the positioning on that guy, like the defender there, is holding around the corner to get info, and you've just bullied it by putting a sticky bomb on his leg. There's nothing you can do about that. That's just a skill shot that immediately opens stuff up for his team.
You don't really expect a push off the back of it as well. I mean, normally that's a safe enough position, but really good timing. Now the Inversight laid down along with the smokes.
The smoke stops any retake of positions here. It just buys so much room.
Oh, the nade! Perfectly cooked. Sky out with an opportunity here. Hermes gets dropped though. Nicolan again on the flanks. No one's really expecting him to be in these positions that he is in.
He's getting so much value on the Lancer. These full flanks, the aggressive pushes. He's playing it to perfection.
Yeah, the team is taking a fight now onto the point, and it's another round win. Oh, there we go, actually.
Yeah, 1 away. They've given them just over average, but this is going to be tough for Team Sky to be able to come back in this. So hard. Again, though, EXO playing the kind of lurky, baity kind of style with the Fixer. And it can get you big value, definitely. But I just feel like he's not quite hitting the shots to be able to have as much impact on the server as someone like Slop is. Slop is really pushing forwards, getting his smokes in aggressive positions, taking away map control and threatening the kills through his smoke. And that's just not something that we're really seeing from MS, even though his impact is clearly being felt in other directions, like, for example, the set nades that his team has been taught.
This is it. This is match point now for Nicolan's team. Tournament point. This is $7,000 on the line. You can see they're going for a bit of a B push here.
So much map control being given already. Positioning being taken over. Early plan. And they've got everything right now. That grenade cooked to perfection, but just managed to roll away from it.
Still going for the plan, hoping that their team can cover him. Oh, what a mistake! Not hitting the house. Yeah, they just did not expect him. Okay, that was actually... I'll talk about it as this round ends if they actually make it through it in the end, because MS has managed to find one at least. You can see the poison coming through again, but taken out. That was, again, the Inversight of MS taking them out. And we're in a 2v2.
This position from Slop is so powerful. He's going to be able to catch people that go onto this this bomb.
Yeah, playing post plan. He's dropped down. It gives them a window of opportunity. I don't know if they've realized this now.
Though, so they could have got the res.
2v2, this could be it. Skyart still, just Dahlia left alive. And Fank just has to try and get it done. Somehow he drops Azo. Unbelievable stuff. Goes for the push. The dodging, the juking. He's trying to play out the bomb timer. He may have just done it for his team. No! Unbelievable. 7-2. Frank knew he got it done, and that's it. Secures the win for his team. Unreal. I was like, why is this guy emoting behind the box when the timer was running down? He knew exactly what the win conditions were.
Yeah, he just gave him the jukes and the jiggles, stayed alive at the end. Perfect play. And Frank, I mean, the big play there was being able to get the second guy, the one that was actually defusing.
Yeah.
I don't know how he got that knock, but it was just perfectly timed. And there was nothing there that MS could do. But it was just great work as well.
Wonderful stuff.
I mean, fantastic plays from Nicolan, from Slop, and then from Fank in that final round. Everyone pulling their weight here on this winning team.
They did take it down in style. They only gave up 2 rounds, I think it was there. Oh, and I mean, if you had to give an MVP to one of these players, I personally would give it to Slop. Just the clutch plays over and over again. The final round, obviously amazing plays there from the other teammates, but Slop and just the entire day. It was a frag montage, Brent.
It really was, yeah. Slop, I mean, he gets it done on the sticks, as I've been saying previously. And this is a guy who's a UK pro player. I mean, he plays Rogue Company at least in a lot. Say again, Josh?
UK represent.
Exactly. You know, we don't have much representation in esports. When it's there, you just latch onto it and you don't let them go until they're washed up. That's the way we do it. But yeah, it's just phenomenal plays all around from Slop. And I mean, his impact on the Fixer, which presumably is the primary role that he's playing, you can just see how much value he was getting on that one rogue in comparison to someone like Ames, who is playing again in a lot of these tournaments, but not on the Fixer as his primary role, generally plays the Vi, right? So the difference, honestly, had to be off the back of that. Now, you can look at these teams on paper, and you could argue, Nicolan's team kind of stacked. They have 3 players that consistently play Rogue Company on a regular basis. And then looking at Nicolan, which is a Apex streamer, right? Apex streamer, content creator.
I think he also plays a lot of Rogue Company as well, though.
Right. So, I mean, there's a lot of translatable skills there. The gunplay is actually kind of similar. So, with the exception of it being obviously third person. But this team obviously deserved to win. Huge congratulations to the entire team, but mainly to Slop for getting our unofficial MVP.
I think they dropped 9 rounds across the day.
Yeah.
So
that's wild, isn't it?
Yeah, technically, and they dropped 1 round for every $1,000 they won here. They won 2,000 in match prizing and 7,000 for placing first. Nicolarn taking home the big bag at the end. Skyard, though, going to come in second with 6,600. 4,200 over to Bly plays. Alucard will take home the 2,800. Akito will take home the 16. And then, hey, High Styles showed up. We had a good time. We enjoyed watching them play, and I hope they had an enjoyable experience here as they'll walk home $200 richer a person. Not a bad payday for showing up and having a good time with your friends. The final standings at the end of it all. Tally it all together there. Nicolarn, they took home the 5-0. Did not drop a game, and you can make that a 6-0 if you include the finals there. Undefeated. Well, and that doesn't mean just means we have to do this again and have someone challenge them.
Same team.
Yeah, they don't get to change their roster.
There's a lot of like kind of poke players, tournament players in Apex Legends, in Rogue Company that want to, I think as well, prove that this game, I mean, it has a lot of potential as an esports title, right? And these kind of entry-level tournaments where, you know, the competition is just, the stakes are obviously for the money are quite high, but in terms of just the atmosphere and the general competitiveness of it, I mean, we saw a variety of skill levels all over the place. And you need these kind of events, I think, just in place at the entry level to prove that, you know, okay, this game has a lot of potential as an esports. I think it absolutely does, given what we've seen. There's so much depth to it, and the entry level, at least for just new players to just jump in, it's probably the most entry level game that is kind of just like spouting that tactical shooter kind of title at the moment, I would say.
Yeah, I agree. I think if you're interested in the genre of like some kind of tac shooter, but you've only ever played, you know, like console games before, or you've only ever played like Call of Duty or Gears of War or something like that, it's a super simple transition to just pick up some Rogue Company, have fun, frag out, and then learn some more of the kind of tactics behind it as you go through. It's a really fun game to learn, and it's also a pretty easy game to get into, but with a pretty high skill ceiling. So I've really enjoyed all of this.
It is also, I think this is one thing we've not highlighted enough on this broadcast, super easy to get into. It's on any of the console platforms you have at home and on PC, and it's free to play. Small download, ran fine on my computer yesterday. I think most people in chat will be able to run this game, have a great time. It is absolutely worth the download and just playing with your friends.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it runs at 120 FPS on the new consoles as well.
Oh, really?
Like one of the few games that does. So they're definitely pushing for, like, I guess as well as the console side on the PC side. If you're watching this, I know we probably cater more towards like PC gamers, but you'd be surprised. You know, there's probably a lot of you out there that do play a lot of console games.
Well, I want to hear it from the team that just took it down. I want to take the time to talk to our winners. Now we have them on the line. It is going to be Mr. Nicolarn himself. Nicolarn, wearing the jersey and everything at this point. How's it feel to win, man?
Well, I think I've officially earned the rights to wear the VIP Rogue jacket, you know?
True.
That win was, bro, we nailed it. Like 6-5-0, 6-0. Who's even counting, right?
It's 6-0, yeah.
Yeah, it was 6-0 completely from the beginning to end there. I mean, there was one moment we caught you in the finals, and I'm interested to kind of like hear your thoughts in more detail. We heard you commentating, or that the other team was countering you heavily on the Lancer. They were blocking you on the flanks, and your team was popping off, and then you just annihilated them in the middle.
Well, the idea is that when we were trying to ban maps and everything, right? SkyArts came in, and I was like, okay, let's see what we're gonna be doing. And then he left the channel. We could smell the freaking fear at that point, right? He left the channel, came back, and he was like, we ban Icarus. And he's like, dude, I'm not playing against your freaking Lancer. Dude, I'm not doing that. Like, we played that, and then you're like, ban, right? And then at the game, like, because on Icarus, I used to place my Semtexes right. I used to like flank them right. Now they were like watching for the flanks. Like they always had a player watching from where I'm going to actually come in. So they played that well, but we played it better.
Yeah.
You absolutely did. Now, I mean, Nicolarn, you obviously have lots of experience playing shooters here on Twitch, and there is such a wide choice of games for you to pick when you choose what you stream. What is it about Rogue Company that brings you back over and over again?
In my honest opinion, the quote-unquote casualness of the game, because whenever I come back to it, I can enjoy it. I don't have to sweat. I don't have to, like, I can just sit here and play it with my friends for hours, or I can stream it for 4 hours, and at the end of it, I don't feel tired. I don't feel like overwhelmed with anything. It's just super casual and fun to play for everyone, and especially because you can play PC, PlayStation, Xbox, cross-play. It's super fun.
My lights are going off in my room. No, stay awake. Okay. Nicolarn, thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us. Any final shout-outs you got before I let you go?
Well, I just gotta shout out my whole team. It's Fank, Slop, and Exo. Like, they're especially, like, where this game is going, it's going to be probably very good for esports in the future, more like casual esports, even full-on pro esports. You should definitely watch out for these guys because they're currently like a squad. I'm kind of like filling in, even though I'm the captain, but definitely stay awake and watch for them. Exo, Fank, and Slop, especially Slop, dude. That guy deserves double the cash. That, bro.
You could give him your portion if you really think he deserves double.
Oh, I'm doing it. Well, it's half of my portion.
Gotta take home something for you. You did put together the team, man. Nicolarn, congratulations on the win. Good luck in future Twitch Rivals.
Thank you, sir.
All right, that is Nicolarn, undefeated today, did not drop a single map. And gentlemen, that concludes Europe. Any kind of summations, any summary thoughts you got?
Yeah, I mean, at this point now, the question remains, will EU dominate in another title? Because we're about to watch the North American side, aren't we? That's going to be coming up pretty soon. So yeah, we're going to be comparing the gameplay. Caleb, I can see the despair in your eyes as I brought up the EU versus NA war. I can already see I don't have Twitch chat open, but I can already see them just lighting up. I've
been watching some of the tournaments recently. Some of the smaller tournaments that have been going on with the actual pro teams in Rogue Company. I've seen some European teams beating the NA teams even on high ping. I've seen it happen, man.
Look, you guys are good at video games. I'll give you that, okay? Just in general, your entire region is very good.
Me and Brent are terrible at video games.
This is not esports, okay? This is Twitch Rivals, okay? We're about making clips and about making memes. And if there's anybody that knows how to smack talk, it's some Americans. We know how to put our mouth way ahead of where the rest of us is. So I am super excited to get into some North American action. Gentlemen, thank you so much for joining me. I will see you guys in just a few. And chat, we are getting ready for some North American action. I hope you guys kept a little bit of your energy. Go get your popcorn, go get your snacks, because the show is just going to if you enjoy what we just did, we're going to do it again. And just re-rack, same thing, North American streamers this time around, though. Thank you so much to our partners for helping make this show happen. Could not do it without them. And we will see you guys in just a few for the North American Rogue Company Showdown.
Very powerful when you get into 1v1 scenarios. Oh, those shots!
The Lord.